Hello, and welcome to my review of the Blade Mach 25 quadcopter from Horizon Hobby. So I titled this basically a customer recommendation update. Uh, so you can see I have an image of the quadcopter sitting in front of me. It's kind of, you can see one of the motor mounts is off. Also, the wire for one of the motor separated. And this occurred during a recent crash in which I hit a gate, and basically the quad flipped on the ground and the motor came loose. Now, when I first bought this, there weren't many, at least videos out there showing. At least they show you how to fly, but they don't show you or tell you about whether, hey, can it handle stand up in a crash or not. And so that's why I decided to do the video. I think it's a good quadcopter, but I do think if anyone knows Horizon Hobby or something like that, they can kind of tell them, hey, I think there's some updates that I think could have made it a little bit more rigid and sturdy as far as forgiving in a crash. For example, these are metal here and easily bendable, and I crashed one time and basically it separated here. So I had to replace that, and they're not, I would say, cheap. So I mean, the items are pretty expensive. Also, the blades, they're very sturdy, which is good, but at the same time, they're not forgiving. For example, if you hit the ground and they hit like that, they will pop off and break easily. The other thing is that I know they put the pins in here so that you would know and make it easy to fit the blades on, but you can't swap out blades and go with a less forgiving, or at least a more forgiving blade, so that when you hit the ground, at least there are other blades out there that you can choose from and use. But one of my major probably recommendations, which are probably three of them, is that if you notice here, the frame is carbon fiber, which is good, very good. But when you get to this part here, for some reason they decided not to run the carbon fiber extended out, and that would probably be a lot better, especially being that this is a starter. And when you're starting something and it's intended to be a starter craft that get people into the hobby, well, they're automatically going to expect crashes. So you kind of want to build something that can withstand a crash. So I would have liked them to have, at least if they ever do an update, to extend the carbon fiber arm out and just place the motor on top of the arm and just run the wiring all the way back into the 4-in-1 ESC up in here, and do it for all four of them. The other thing would be, instead of using these, I like the motor mounts because it protects the motor from any crash. And they probably can keep something like this and just have it attached to bolted to the frame of the carbon fiber going forward. And then instead of using this clunky metal here, could just use regular standoffs. Just probably two on each side. That way it decreases you having to have 3 bolts up in here to lock this down. And then you don't have to worry about breaking these if you get in a crash or bending them and having to buy more. I mean, those are just a few of my recommendations. Would be just going forward, if they ever decide to update the design, I would definitely extend the arms out to make them carbon fiber. And I have a quad here just to show an example of what I'm talking about. Something like this, where as you can see, the carbon fiber arms are extended out so that if it hits the ground, crashes, it's not breaking, it's not coming loose like the motor mount here. It's going to stay there with you, and this is very sturdy. I've crashed these before, and actually the frame is still intact. No damage to the frame. Hadn't had to replace any parts on the frame whatsoever. So, but all in all, I think it's a good entry-level starter quad. I mean, also other thing would be to add cut a slot in here so that if you want to update, add a better resolution higher resolution camera to it, whether it's a Fat Shark 600 or Run Cam, then you can at least put the frame braces on there so you can hold that camera in place, and then redo your wiring to add your transmitter, video transmitter in the back or wherever you want to place it. I think that would be a good idea too, so that way you can increase the resolution through your goggles, and at least it's upgradable. And I guess that's really what I was going for. Is going, yeah, maybe an entry level starter, but to some degree you can upgrade it once you get into the field of flying FPV quad. So, but that's my my recommendations. To anybody, hopefully they can update it and make it better. And I hope this video helps anybody who's thinking about buying it. Like I said, just be careful, because yes, if you do crash it, expect either the arms to come loose, either the wing. Definitely, you're gonna be buying a whole bunch of these. And be aware that you can only use these blades, the blades that come for this quadcopter, or you have to buy separate screws to go on top. Then you can use other blades, but you have to buy four separate screws, or maybe you have some sitting around someplace to put on top to lock down any additional other blades that you want to use. But these are specifically designed to go with these type of blades, and these blades will break the minute they hit the ground or hit dirt or anything like this. That kind of puts them in a bad position. I mean, they're very stiff blades. So yeah, very stiff. So, but I hope this video helps anyone out who's thinking about buying it, or at least kind of give you an idea that yeah, it doesn't hold up in a crash too well as your regular racing quads do. That are all carbon fiber X frames. But thank you for watching the video, and I hope this helps anyone out who may be trying to determine, hey, can it take a crash? Can it take a hit? Unfortunately, not too good. I mean, you will be expected to buy spare parts, and the parts are pretty expensive, but just giving you a heads up. Thank you. Bye.